What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, all that beautiful YouTube stuff. Hope today is the day that we earn that subscription. We're almost at 500 subscribers, guys. I know we can reach that. Only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. But we're gonna wrap up season 2 episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. Finish up the season here, and gonna run through the story real quick because it's just basically a continuation from episode 7, basically, of Karen on trial with the vigilante act that Wilson Fisk put in. But welcome here. Every little visit we appreciate very much. So basically, like I said, Matt, right, and his partner are continuing their defense of Karen Page and trying to use the cameras to switch up Karen being on trial to New York City being on trial, more of the policies being put on trial, to kind of say that that these policies are pushing people to their breaking point, that normally these people wouldn't be behaving like this if it wasn't for the actions of Wilson Fisk as mayor, rounding up people, not releasing where they may be, trying to clear the board of any vigilantes, even setting up a hit on White Tiger, right? This is why his niece is even involved and basically have become the new White Tiger in the MCU. But as we see, at one point, the judges asked for a conference in the back, and I liked this one little scene here where Matt can hear Wilson whispering to himself, basically, because he was being questioned by Matt. And Wilson is just basically sitting there telling him, like, if you keep this line of questioning, I might have to kind of accidentally say that you're dead, Daredevil, right? And kind of having to expose yourself. And he's thinking that this is going to scare Matt away, and not really realizing that Matt's ultimate goal kind of lines up with this, because by him lining up with this, with the questions that he's making Wilson Fisk answer, it's setting him up to be a hypocrite, okay? Because Wilson, as mayor, has stated that Matt Murdock's a hero. He saved the mayor's life. He's a wonderful man of the community. And so if he's all these things and the mayor's defending this man and he's really a vigilante, then the Vigilante Act doesn't seem to be as much needed then as you're trying to say that it is, because apparently to you, in your view, Wilson, they're horrible people. So what is it? Is Matt Murdock a horrible person? Or is he the hero that saved you and your wife's life when Bullseye tried to assassinate you? So it's kind of like Matt's setting him up to look like the ultimate fool, because, you go through all these things, and even if he doesn't express that Wilson knows he's Daredevil, the fact that he eventually reveals that he's Daredevil reveals that even the mayor has given him the stamp of approval as a person. So if he's saying that Matt Murdock's a hero, that means Daredevil's a hero too, and he's a vigilante. So it goes against everything that Wilson was trying to set up for control of New York, okay? Because Manhattan seems to be the mecca in the MCU, or not just Marvel Comics too, for superheroes. You have The Avengers, based out of New York City most of the time. Spider Man, The Punisher, Moon Knight. Uh, the X Men are in New York, right? Westchester County. So, New York is chock full of heroes, okay? New York seems to really go through a lot in the Marvel Universe. But basically, what winds up happening after he reveals himself to be Daredevil in the court, um, they dismiss the charges against Karen Page. At the same time, the residents of Manhattan are starting to gather in front of the courthouse, and I'm sure from other boroughs too. But eventually, when it's revealed that Matt Murdock's Daredevil and everything, and that these people are really trying to storm the courthouse, Wilson's people, his eight like military people, so to speak, his law enforcement agency, they're setting up a perimeter outside. He's got some of them with him in the court. He decides to hold himself up in the courthouse with his hitman sidekick and his assistant and the therapist that has been working with the prosecution. And so they're there, and Matt and his partner, Jessica Jones, Karen, they're kind of trapped off in another part of the courthouse, so to speak. And they're like watching the news of, the governor winds up showing up even to kind of show Wilson, like, yeah, you didn't get to get done what you wanted to get done. And Charles, Matthew Lillard, he'll make an appearance at the end of this season here, this episode, but we'll get into that when that time comes. So basically, as tensions become greater and greater and greater, and the crowd outside becomes more and more like upset, and then it's kind of Wilson is basically taken out of office. NYPD shows up to try to take control of the situation, and all heck breaks loose. The officer that was working for Fisk and came back finally seen that he was being duped the whole time, and took the jerk face leader of them and knocked him out and basically let the cops through, and then the whole crowd rushed in, and basically you see all these citizens in DD masks, right, Daredevil masks, and they're going through trying to get to the Kingpin. All right. At the same time, Kingpin's men are now trying to make an attempt to go after Daredevil and his group of friends. But him and Jessica Jones fight them off. And Wilson finally just snaps. Okay, and he's like, open the door. And he starts wrecking average citizens, not people with meta powers, not mutants, not people who got powers, nothing like just regular Joe Schmoes. And he's tossing people. There's one scene where he picks someone up and breaks their back against the corner of where two walls meet. He's got blood all over his white suit. You see DD and Jessica Jones taking people out themselves. And Karen is now starting to take some people out, which I get that she's been boxing and everything, but to the actress who plays Karen, you're a wonderful actress. I like you, but in the off season, take some martial arts classes so you can make your fight scenes, polish them up a little bit, make them look a little bit better, because they didn't make you look strong here. I know it's not your fault, but don't you want to look strong on screen? Don't you want to look like you know what you're doing, Miss Actress who plays Karen Page? Just a little bit of advice from a Joe Schmo character fan. I'm a character, all right. I don't know what type of character, but I am, I guess, right? So basically, as Matt and Jessica and now all these other groups of citizens make their way to the main lobby of the courthouse, Wilson makes his way there, and he's like, "Didn't I do enough for you? I'm trying to do everything I can for you folks." And no one's caring, not Karen. And you see the group of citizens going up the each side of the steps there that they have, and eventually they overtake him. And then Matt finally makes his way up there. Jessica's trying to make her way up there, and he talks to Wilson, and he's really again still trying to talk some sense into Wilson Fisk, telling him to give up, take a deal, and make up for the things that you've done and whatever like that. And he convinces him. He convinces him. And what eventually happens now is that we start now falling into the aftermath of all this because basically Daredevil beats Kingpin with words, all right? Again, you know, we see that Bullseye, we see that, okay, let's start like this. Luke Cage makes an appearance after this whole thing, right? The epilogue, so to speak. We see Luke Cage coming home. We see Jessica Jones going, "Is that it? Are we done?" And he's like, I'm done." You know, and he doesn't look, I mean, I'm sure he's happy he's home, but he looks like he had to do some stuff, you know, and probably it's going to take a long time to process what he had to do in order to even get back to his family. And that's probably setting up a Defenders or Jessica Jones alias show, maybe with Luke, or some sort of Heroes for Hire, right? And then what we see is Bullseye with Charles, the Matthew Lillard character, and it seems like Bullseye signed up for whatever program that Jessica and Luke Cage had signed up for. So Charles is some sort of Charles should have been the one to create the Thunderbolts, actually, to be honest with you, not the Dippy Doo character from Louise Dreyfus there. Julia Louise Dreyfus, I like her, but they should have made Mr. Charles the new head of Thunderbolts, especially with what they're doing. I like. So we'll see what happens with that. Bullseye obviously is making a return somewhere. All right. We see Karen and Matt go to dinner, and the police come to get Matt. They give him a few days to kind of be like, you know, and they locked him up. You see the processing there of him and everything. He sees the cops that were working for Wilson in jail too. Karen is cleared of all the charges and kind of has a new start in front of her. So we'll see where that goes, right? We'll see the fate of the new White Tiger. And really, that's kind of where we leave off. Matt in prison, Karen trying to figure out where her life goes now, and a possible Defenders reunion, right? And what happened to Bullseye. And Kingpin is exiled. He is last seen standing on a beach looking out to the water somewhere in the world. And to be honest with you, he got away too late. And he should really be thankful for Matt because he got away with a lot of garbage here. And to be able to just be set up, and I'm not saying he can do whatever he wants to do, but to be set up basically chilling on a beach, on a nice beach, like nothing happened. I liked the series season enough to be like, you know, because I like Charlie Cox, I like Vincent D'Onofrio. But I think one of the biggest problems for me for this season is the constant Wilson Fisk. I like the character, I like the actor who portrays him, but it's really now the second time we went through this whole thing with Daredevil and Kingpin in two different shows. And I definitely don't want to see the Hand again and go through this whole thing again. So I'm really hoping that we're done with the Kingpin for quite some time and don't see him until the end of season 3, perhaps. If at all. If at all. It looks like we're going to be getting set up for the new Muse, and we'll see how that goes. It'd be interesting to see how the psychiatrist takes on the portrayal of Muse and what is her muse. And that's where we're at with this particular season of Daredevil. Um, Again, I like the actors, I like the characters, but I think that I'm done with Daredevil and Kingpin for now in the MCU. It's enough. Enough. Okay? Pick a different villain. Go with Muse all season. Okay? No Kingpin, please. Please, please. Buy and leave now. That's what I got for you folks today. Let me know what you think of this season of Daredevil. And until next time, peace.